Hello and welcome to the Brian Hornback Experience. This is episode 76. No guest, just me. We've had several guests on the last many episodes. I guess that's beard. I guess that's, I don't know what that is. Anyway, if you're watching on YouTube, you see what I'm trying to pull off my shirt. I think that's a beard hair. Anyway, episode 76, we're just going to chit-chat here a bit. As you know, if you've been listening to the podcast on a regular basis, we've had a lot of guests on, a lot of people who are running for public office, and we have a lot more to do. That list is on this desk somewhere, but I'm also in the middle of doing my taxes. So taxes has kind of consumed my desk. But let's see. Let's run through the list real quick and kind of tell you what we got going on in the near future. So, make sure this page is back to page 1. Yeah. So we've had Steve Weiner and Dylan Early. That's a Republican and a Democrat running for County Commission at Large, seat 10. We've had Kim Frazier, who's running for County Commission at Large, seat 11. We will have in the next day or so Chuck Severance, who's running in District 7. And we also have had Rhonda Lee, who's running in District 7. We've had Gina Oster, who is running in District 3, County Commission. We've had Bob Fisher and Tyler Givens, both running as Democrats for County Mayor. Out in the school board, we've knocked a bunch of school board folks out. We've had Brianna Holloway and Reginald Jackson. Both of them are running as independents in District 1 school board. We've had Sherry Garrett on, who's running in District 7. We've had Dominique Oakley, who's running as an independent in District 7. We've had Christy, who is our school board chair, running in District 9. And we've had Annabelle Henley, who is the Democrat in District 9. So, what we still have yet to do, and here's where we're going to take a little change, I think. On the judges, we currently have 4 circuit court judges that none of them have an opponent, okay? And so I think we might have one of those on, Bill Ayler, possibly, who has indicated that he'd be willing to come on. Here's the problem with judges. They can't talk about a case. They can't talk about what they would do in ruling on a case. And so really what I think I want to do is I think I want to get one of these on from each of the different kind of courts and just talk about what that court does, period. Very generic, very plain. So that's in the plans later on down the road, but I want to get through as many of these contested elections as we can before we get to that. In Chancery, we do have a contested Republican primary for Chancery Part 2. That is with Chancellor Eddie Pridemore, and he's being challenged by Dino Cole and Richard Budd Armstrong. But John Weaver in Part 1 is not being opposed. Chris Hagerty in Part 3 is not being opposed. We have 3 criminal court judges who are not being opposed. Stephen Sword, Kyle Hickson, and Scott Green. Again, I would like to see potentially get one of the chancellors on and one of the criminal court judges on. District Attorney General Charm Allen is not being opposed in the primary. She is being opposed in the general election, so I'm sure we'll have her and her Democrat opponent on at some point. Another one that I just realized that I didn't mark off the list that we did was we have talked to Eric Lutton, the public defender. And so that one's in. Okay, so any of y'all that want to hear about the public defender's office job and office, go check that out. We have not had Glenn Jacobs on yet. He has told me that he will come on. We haven't had Debbie Helsey, who's another Democrat candidate for mayor. And then we've got several. Mark him out. He withdrew. It's probably a good thing because I couldn't pronounce his name if I tried. So we got some candidates in District 3, some candidates in one more in District 7. Trustee, we need to get Justin Biggs on. He's the county commissioner who is seeking the county trustee's position. He's been in that office for about 16 years. And then general sessions judge. We have a Democrat challenging circuit sessions judge Chuck Cerny, and then Judge Judd Davis, who was appointed in December for the retiring position of Jeff Emery. He has a Republican opponent in Sharon Frankenberg, and then Patricia Long, Andy Jackson, and Tony Stansberry don't have opposition. So maybe we'll get Tony on. If Judd and Sharon want to come on and introduce themselves, I don't have a problem with that. I've told all the judges that, all the judge candidates that. If you want to come on and introduce yourself, talk about your law practice before you were a judge or what you do today, great. We ain't going to talk about cases. Juvenile court judge, Tim Irwin. Then we got the 2 sheriff's candidates. Then we have the circuit civil sessions and juvenile court clerk. Charlie Susano is being opposed in the August general election. Mike Hammond, criminal court clerk, he is going to be on. We just got to get it. We just got to get it on the calendar and get it done. Sherry Witt, county clerk, is unopposed. I'm sure she'll come on. Nick McBride, register deeds, has an opponent in August. I'm sure he'll come on. And then in the school board races, we still need to try to get on John Butler and Charles Frazier. In the 4th district, I need to try to get on the Republican Will Edwards and the Democrat Catherine Vike. In the 6th district, the incumbent Republican Betsy Henderson, I'm sure she'll come on. And her independent opponent, Philip Michael Sherman. I think there's an E in there. I mean, an R in there. Anyway, and then in the 7th district is Steve Triplett, who's not been on yet. And in the 9th district is Phil King. So that's kind of where we're at. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So we still have a pretty long road to go before May the 3rd. May 3rd is the Republican and the Democrat primaries. We have early voting starting on April 13th through the 28th. So I want to try to compact as many of these in before April 13th as I can. So just bear with me. August 4th is the general election. Early voting is July 15th through the 30th. But we'll talk more about that as we get into that. Also going on in August will be the state and federal primaries. And so with that, you have state representatives, you have the governor, you have, I don't think we have a Senate race this year, and then the congressionals. So in the Knoxville area, we'll have, we have Tim Burchett and former County Commissioner Mark Harmon, and then any plethora of others. Sorry, I had to take a drink. And so, we may reach out to some of those in outlying counties, outlying districts. I would like to try to get Weston Wamp, who's running as a candidate for mayor in Hamilton County. First time in 28 years that Hamilton County has had a vacancy for county mayor. So I would like to try to get Weston on. Those of you that have been following the blog for a while know that I was a supporter of Zach Wamp when he ran for governor. I was a supporter of Weston when he ran for Congress. And so I definitely would like to try. I wasn't doing the podcasting back then. Was doing the blog. Haven't been doing the podcasting. So would like to try to get Weston on just to talk about. It's interesting from his perspective. Young married guy, 4 young children, and running for Hamilton County mayor. His sister Cody Wamp is running for district attorney general in Hamilton County, I think. I'm not going to waste Cody's time with coming on the Brian Hornback podcast. Plus, DAs have a tendency to scare me just a little bit. Wow, if you've been following the coverage of BrianHornback.com, really haven't had a chance to talk about it. That's one reason I wanted to come on and have this little discussion. The sheriff's race has become really interesting. The last time they were together was at the Concord Farragut Republican Club, and Spangler showed up with a plethora. I don't really know what a plethora is. You know what the numero uno number of a plethora is. Anyway, they all wear gray shirts. Kind of looks like the Bates family. You know the Bates family from up in Lake City. They all come wearing the same gray shirt. Kind of looks like a. By the way, Gil Bates is a good dude. He was in the grocery business back before they started having so many children. But anyway, they had like 19 kids, something like that. But anyway, all the Spangler supporters wear the same gray shirt. Kind of weird. But anyway, they were there, and a couple of them got a little rowdy at Concord Fair, which is not the place to get rowdy. If you're going to get rowdy somewhere, you should go to rowdy in East Knox County, Halls, South Knox County. But they came down to Farragut, and yeah, it was interesting. But anyway, if you want to see that video, go to the one that says JJ, unedited JJ version. It's already had about close to 1,600 views already in just a couple of weeks. Within the first 2 days, it wound up with about 1,000 views, and every day it was logging another 100, another 100, another 100, another 100. Kind of stalled out at about 1,500. Last time I checked it was about 1,500, and it's still getting some views. Anyway, JJ doesn't travel with an entourage or a group. He basically goes in by himself. So then shortly after Concord Farragut meeting, I heard they were both going to be out at the Town Hall East meeting. And so I went out to Town Hall East, and Spangler had the flu or some illness. And so JJ was by himself, and then the 3 Democrat candidates for mayor were there. So that was interesting. I mean, there's no gray shirts. I guess the gray shirts only show up when Spangler's around. I don't know. Was not able to go out on this past Thursday night, to the PAL meeting, but Spangler did show up there. JJ had been there the month before. And so gray shirts were there again with Spangler. I don't know what it is. Something about Spangler and gray shirts. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, this is being recorded on Sunday, March the 20th. Tomorrow, March 21st, the County Commission will have their work session, but tomorrow evening at 6:30 at the Boys and Girls Club on Dry Gap Pike, out kind of in Powell, but they call it Halls. There's going to be the Halls Republican Club meeting, and J.J. Jones will be there, along with Kim Frazier, who's running for County Commission at-large seat 11, along with Chuck Severance, along with Justin Biggs, who's running for trustee. So those are the 4 speakers tomorrow night at the Halls Republican Club. Tuesday night, up at Carter High School, is the 8th District Republican Club meeting. I talked to its president, Alan Branch, on Friday. Still had not confirmed a speaker yet, but I'm sure all the candidates will be at 8th District on Tuesday. So if you want to go up and shake and howdy, you can, I'm sure. Carter High School cafeteria is where they normally meet until they get kicked into a classroom or something. Then Thursday night, everybody kind of takes Wednesday off because it's when we all used to go to church on Wednesday nights, for Bible study. And so Thursday night at the SNS cafeteria, sorry, I thought I was kicking my dog. Don't want to kick my dog. Thursday night at SNS cafeteria on Kingston Pike, 4808 Kingston Pike, will be the Center City Republican Club meeting. And I'm president of that club. And this month, we've invited all the Republican candidates running for County Commission, which again would be in the 3rd District, Nick Saparo and Gina Oster. In the 7th District, Rhonda Lee, Alan Merritt, Chuck Severance. Trying to do this in alphabetical order. In at-large seat 10, Larson J. and Steve Weiner. And in County Commission seat 11 would be Devin Driscoll and Kim Frazier. So you're welcome to come to that meeting. And what they're going to do is they're going to talk for about 5 minutes. Then they're going to sit down because we've got several of them to get through. And then if you've got questions, you can ask it of them privately after the meeting. Because we start at 6:30, but SNS closes at 8. So we have to act exponential, whatever. We got to act quickly. So that is what's going on this coming week. No meetings on Friday that I'm aware of. And then Saturday, my wife and I will celebrate 34 years of being married. She would have been out of jail by now. She'd have committed murder. But anyway, so that is what's going on in the world this week. Again, I will be recording. I will be recording a podcast episode with Chuck Severance on Tuesday morning. So we'll get that up sometime Tuesday morning, lunchtime-ish. And I'll get some more scheduled, hopefully tomorrow. But anyway, I appreciate you tuning in to this kind of catch up and let you know what's going on in the world of politics in Knox County. Other than that, man, I don't think there's a whole lot going on. The school board's been kind of quiet since they named Dr. John Reiswick as their next superintendent. He'll take office July 1. You can listen to a little bit of that on the Christy podcast, the Brian Hornback Experience, which was the episode just before this one, which would have been 75. By the way, before I forget it, so that you don't have to go try to find the Brian Hornback Experience anywhere, just go to brianhornback.com. Up underneath the what we call the masthead and the ad is a little line. It says home. It says Brian Hornback Experience Podcast Audio, Brian Hornback Experience Podcast Video. Click on that, and all the links. This tells you what each episode. It tells you if it was a guest, who the guest is. It tells you kind of what the topic was, and it gives you a link directly to that podcast. On the audio page, it's going to take you to all the audio episodes. So if you click on episode 75, if you click on that link, it's going to take you straight to that audio. You can listen to it. If you're on the video page and you click on episode 75, Christy, Republican Chair, Knox County School Board, recorded on March 19th, 2022. And if you click where it says here, click, it's going to take you straight to the YouTube of that video. Now, you can find the brianhornback.com page on YouTube on my website as well. But anyway, just so we're trying to make these Brian Hornback experiences as easily accessible as possible for you. That's the point. Okay, I think we're kind of done for now. But anyway, hope you all have a great week, and we will be talking at you later. See you, bye.